Hey everybody, this is Charlie, and today I'm going to talk to you about long-lasting sexual relationships. I get so many questions asked about this, I need to talk to you about it. Stay tuned for this great video. Hey, today we are talking about long-term and long-lasting sexual relationships. This is the topic. This is what many people ask me about. I got this question asked by Lindsay. She asked me, hey Charlie, why do I seem to have so much trouble to find a man to have a long-lasting relationship, a long-lasting sexual relationship, a long-term relationship? Now, Lindsay, the problem is not only men. I think it's a problem of both, okay? And of course, the way we approach sex and relationships, man and woman, may be a bit different, and that doesn't mean that we are better or they are better or who is better. It's not about that. We are all the same. We are all good. But yes, it seems like men have more problems at having long-term sexual relationships. The reasons for this are many, and of course each man is different, and not all men are the same, and not all men are bad with it. Some men actually look and like long-term relationships. I'm one of them. I like long-term relationships. I don't like sporadic sex. And I've had it before, and I've had it throughout many years, and it's okay, it's great. I'm not saying it's bad, but I really rather be in a long-term relationship than in a sporadic, have sex with different people every week or every month or whatever. So, having said that, what does it take to actually have a long-term sexual relationship? What do you need to do? Because, you see, this is the first thing I'm going to tell you, and this is my first advice and the first thing you need to know. When you start knocking on the door of long-term relationship, long-term sexual relationships, you're knocking at the door of work. You will have to start working. And I don't mean this in a bad way. Work can have this connotation of bad or of sacrifice. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you want to have a long-term relationship, you are going to have to work on it. Because at the beginning, everything is great. When you start falling in love, when you have this, all your body is full of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, and all these things are going crazy throughout your body, you don't need to work very much because you really want to be with that person all the time and you have sex all the time, non-stop. What happens when this substance starts to fade away? Then is when you need to start working. And that's when you need to actually start saying, hey, where do I want to go with this? You know, I think in all relationships there's a point where we say, do I want to keep going or should we stop? I mean, this is something that I have experienced myself. And I've seen that happen over and over again. It comes to a point in a relationship where you say, hey, am I going for this or am I going to stop here? And I think we all know about what that thing, when that moment occurs in the different relationships you may have had, because it depends on many things, but there's a point where you say, is this this what I want? Now, when that point comes, you need to really make a decision. Do I want to keep going for this or not? And when if you decide to go for it, you are starting to say, hello, work. I'm going to have to start working on this. If not, it's going to fade away and it's going to collapse most of the time. Especially when the kids come in, if you decide to have a family and things like that. You need to make sure that you make a commitment, not only with yourself, but with the other person. And that commitment has to do with the future. And this is what I want to tell you in this video, basically. You have to imagine yourself in the future with that person. And you will have to imagine, you have to visualize how you want your sex life to be from that day till you are 40 years from now. And you might say, hey Charlie, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, I'm talking about visualizing yourself in the future with that person. Because you see, we are going to start changing. Everybody is in constant change all the time. We are changing. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 18. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 28 or 30 or 40. I'm a different person today. I have evolved. I have met new people. I have learned many more things about life. I have experienced new things. I'm not the same person. And you have to accept that. When that happens, when you meet that person and you say, okay, I'm going to stay with you for the rest of my life, hopefully, you need to accept that that person is going to change. So what I'm trying to tell you is visualize yourself in the future with that person and say, I want to make this work. I'm going to make sure that this works. And how do I want to be in 10 years, 20 and 30 years with this person? Where do I want to be? And you're going to monitor this every single day. And when I mean every single day, I mean that you will have to start working on it every week. You're going to have to start saying, am I what I want to be? Is this person the person I want to be with? Is my sexual life the way I want it to be? When you start going through the motions in your sexual life, in your relationships, you're going to start, it's going to go bust. You cannot go through the motions because the other person is going to notice it, the other person is going to start doing the same, and everything is going to go bust. Believe me. And there's also a point of no return if you start doing that. So you need to constantly monitor how your relationship is going. When I see people that have been together for 30, 40 years and you talk to them, first of all, there's a deep love and deep respect between them. If you don't have those two, forget about it, all right? Deep love and deep respect. Love that goes beyond sexual attraction, that goes beyond many things. You want to have a project together, a life project together. And you're going to start monitor that all the time. And there's one thing that I have seen in couples that have been together for 40 years. I know quite a few actually. These people constantly work for the other person to be happy. They have a deep sense of service to the other person. They want to make sure that the other person is happy. It's not about you, it's about the other person. Of course you have to be good in order to give love. I know that. You have to work on yourself. Of course you have to work on yourself, on your self-esteem, on your everything you want to achieve in life. But when it comes to a couple, when it comes to love, the other person has to be right here. You have to have a very strong sense of service towards that other person, of giving pleasure, giving love, giving joy to that person, so that you together are a couple. And that doesn't mean that this is going to be like all the way up here. You're going to go through valleys, you're going to go through bad moments, things that can happen in your life, and you have to accept that. But you together, if you have this in mind, in having that visualization of where do you want to be in the next 30 years, you're going to start working to get there. You're going to start working to fulfill that desire, to fulfill that dream of having that. I know this is a deep video. I know it's maybe a bit, I don't know, I've been reading some books this past weeks and they have made me thought about it. And I just want to tell you that long-term relationship, long-term sexual desire, long-term sexual relationships require work, require imagination, require creativeness, finding ways to be sexually satisfied, to be sexually happy, to be sexually fulfilled. And understand that your sexuality is going to also develop, and whatever was good at 18 is not going to be maybe so intense, or you will not actually want to do it again when you're 30 or 40 or 50. Accepting that and always evolve towards what you want or where you want to be as a couple is very, very important. And that goal, that visualization of where you want to be is going to make you work to be there. You're going to make you need to actually constantly, as I said before, every week, every month, every year, say, hey, am I where I want to be? Am I having the relationship that I really want in my life? Is this the person that I want to be the rest of my life? And talk about it together and say, hey, where are we? If you don't do that, if you don't monitor yourselves as a relationship and you don't say, hey, is this what we wanted to have? Is this what you want to have? If you're not there, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So, This was this video. I know it's a bit dense, a bit deep maybe. I hope that you like it though. I hope that this makes you reflect about your sexual life, about your relationship, about whatever you're in this moment, even if you're not in a relationship. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this every week. And visit my website down here. You have more information about sexuality, about sex, courses that you can take to become a better lover. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.